In the ancient lands of West Africa, long before the written word, stories were the threads that wove the fabric of society. And among all the storytellers, there was one name that echoed through every village, whispered on the wind, and chuckled over by firelight: Anansi the Spider. Now, Anansi was not just any spider. He was clever, cunning, and more than a little bit mischievous. But one day, a thought burrowed into his mind, a thought bigger and more ambitious than any he had ever had before. He saw wisdom scattered all around the world, in the way the river carved its path, in the secrets of the baobab tree, in the songs of the weaver birds. What if, he thought, his 8 eyes gleaming, what if I could gather all the wisdom of the world into one single place? What if I could own it all? The idea consumed him. He decided he would collect all this wisdom in a great, big clay pot. So his quest began. He journeyed to the highest mountains to learn the secrets of the eagles. He spoke with the oldest tortoises who remembered the world when it was new. He listened to the farmers and learned the rhythms of the seasons. He talked to the kings and understood the weight of leadership. He even learned the quiet wisdom of the stones, who had seen everything. Slowly but surely, Anansi's pot began to fill. It grew heavy with proverbs, with knowledge of herbs, with the art of negotiation, and with the understanding of human hearts. Every piece of knowledge, every sliver of insight, every ounce of common sense in the entire world, he sealed inside his clay pot. He looked at his prize, his heart swelling with pride. "It's all mine," he whispered. "All the wisdom in the world belongs to me, Anansi." His next challenge was where to hide it. It had to be a place where no one else could ever find it, a place where he could keep his treasure safe forever. He looked around, and his eyes settled on the tallest, slickest, most formidable silk cotton tree in the entire forest. Perfect, he thought. No one can climb that tree. I will hide my pot of wisdom at the very top. So, Anansi tied a vine around the neck of the heavy pot. But here, he faced a problem. He decided to tie the pot to his front, right on his big, round belly. He began to climb, but it was impossible. The huge pot was in his way, banging against the trunk of the tree with every move he made. He'd stretch one leg up, and the pot would swing and knock him off balance. He'd try to get a better grip, but the pot would press against his chest, making it hard to breathe. He struggled and grunted, slid down, and tried again. He huffed and he puffed, his 8 legs scrambling for a hold, but the pot on his belly was a constant obstacle. He was Anansi, the cleverest of all, yet he was being defeated by a simple tree. He was so focused, so frustrated, that he didn't notice a small pair of eyes watching him from the bushes below. It was his youngest son, Dakuma. He had been watching his father's strange struggle for quite some time. He was a quiet boy, but he had a keen eye. After a long moment of silence, Dakuma couldn't hold back any longer. He called out in his small voice, "Father, Father, may I offer a suggestion?" Anansi stopped, annoyed at being interrupted. "What is it, boy? Can't you see I'm busy with a very important task?" Dakuma pointed. "Well, Father," he said timidly, "wouldn't it be much easier to climb if you tied the pot to your back instead of your front?" Anansi froze. He looked at the pot on his belly, then at his back. It was so simple, so obvious. Why hadn't he thought of that? All the wisdom of the world was in his pot, yet he hadn't had the simple common sense to figure out how to carry it up a tree. His son, who had none of the world's wisdom, had seen the solution instantly. A wave of humiliation, then anger, washed over Anansi. He, the owner of all wisdom, had been outsmarted by a child. In a fit of pure rage and frustration, he untied the pot and, with a furious cry, threw it down at the base of the tree. The clay pot shattered into a million tiny pieces, and from it, a great wind erupted, carrying all the wisdom that Anansi had so painstakingly collected. The wind blew north, south, east, and west. It whistled through the villages, swept over the savannas, and rustled the leaves in the deepest parts of the jungle. The wisdom flew everywhere. A little piece landed with a fisherman who suddenly understood the tides. A bit settled on a mother who learned a new lullaby. A fragment drifted to a chief who found a fair solution to a dispute. The wisdom was no longer contained in one pot. It was scattered among all the people in every corner of the world for anyone to find. And that is why, to this day, no single person has all the wisdom in the world. It is shared among us all. We each hold a small piece of it. It's in the stories our grandparents tell us, in the lessons we learn from our mistakes, and in the simple, brilliant ideas of a child. The moral of Anansi's story is a beautiful one. Wisdom is not something to be hoarded or owned by one person. It grows when it is shared, and sometimes the simplest truths are found in the most unexpected places. Thank you so much for joining us on this journey into African folklore. If you enjoyed the story of Anansi, please give this video a thumbs up and subscribe to our channel for more tales from around the world. We'd love to hear your thoughts in the comments below. See you next time.